Hello, friends, lovelies. We appreciate you being here. We have another episode of reading our journal entries with you. And so we each have prepared 3 to share. Some of mine today are a little bit longer.
Okay.
But I just felt like they were it was just nice for me to specifically choose these 3. It was like kind of refreshing to be like, wow. It always amazes me. And every time I read my journals, I like cry because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like you're reliving it. I truly do feel like, and words are not just, and I know you're big on words. And to me, it's not just a one-time thing, but it's like I read it and it's like I'm brought back to that moment that I wrote it. And I'm just like, wow.
Now
it's
you
like
time traveling.
You literally time travel through
Right?
words. So words are so powerful. I'm like, wow, I remember how I felt. Like you don't be forgetting. So, yeah, shall we begin?
Yes.
Okay, I'm trying to think.
I think you should start.
I will start. And I just want to say, honestly, one of mine that I'm sharing, it's quite heavy. I don't know if yours are heavy, but I just want to specifically give a trigger warning that these are heavy and they're emotional and they're real. Like, these came from our hearts, and we're going to share the dates and the times that we wrote it. And, yeah, I mean, this is for real. This is like our real life. And so we just want to be open with you all about like what we've experienced in the past and just being able to reflect with each other how we've been processing it and just where we are at now as well. So let's get started. Maybe I'll start off heavy and then end on a brighter, uplifting note.
Whatever you want. And then just to clarify, I don't know what we don't know what each other chose.
Yeah, we never read these to each other
Yeah.
yet. So this one is from July 5th, 2017. And this is actually a letter I wrote to my dad. And I wrote it at 2:22 p.m.
2:22 p.m.
Yeah. Okay, it says, "Dear Dad, I'm mad at you. I hate that you had to hurt my mom. How could you be so unloyal and mean? Why couldn't you just love her and our whole family? Why did you have to be so mean and nasty? I'm just so disappointed in you. All along, I thought you were loving. I thought you'd be my hero. You were my prince, but you turned out to be someone else, an intruder. All along, I thought you were hardworking and kind, but you're greedy and filthy. You are mean, and I strongly dislike you. I'm glad you're gone because I'd rather have no dad than a dad who only destroys a family.
Oh my
You are filthy. You're not my prince. If you wonder why I can't find someone to love me right, it's because you didn't know how to love me and all of us." Yeah. Yeah, so when I read that for the first time, I was like, whoa. I was angry and I could really feel my emotions when I wrote that. I was like, wow. Even things like, you are mean. You are filthy. Like, that's how I really felt. And sometimes, honestly, I still feel that way. But I feel like, reading this, it's like, it's just the reality of grieving at times where it's like sometimes you miss them. Sometimes you're mad at them. Sometimes you want to hug them. Sometimes you want to hear their voice again. And in this one, I was really angry and hurt.
You called him an intruder.
Yeah.
Do you want to elaborate on that?
I guess it just felt like it should have felt like a home, and because of him, it didn't.
I can see that. And then you even, in 2017, how old were you? Okay.
I was 19.
And you mentioned,
I just turned 19 around that time.
Sorry, I don't remember verbatim what you wrote, but
okay.
Something about, like, maybe that's why
If I can't find anyone to love me right, it's because you didn't.
Wow.
Yeah. I feel like, that was, me projecting. But also, it's true.
It's fair. That's all you know of a man.
You're my dad. You were supposed to lead by example of the kind of person I should be looking for in a partner. But he actually showed me what I don't want in a partner. I remember just, like, seeing how he was to mom and to us siblings. And I was like, yeah, no, I don't want someone who's unfaithful. I don't want someone who is mean with their words, someone who doesn't allow us to make mistakes. I don't want someone who purposely uses their words to hurt you or to know that they're hurting you, but then they're like justifying their actions. Someone who's just unfaithful, unkind. I didn't want that. And I was like, I wasn't in my mom's shoes, and I still am not. And I remember just wondering, I'm like, why is mom dealing with that? She doesn't have to. But it's like when you're a kid, you don't know much. And you're just like, can she just leave him? But I knew there was more to it than just leaving your unfaithful husband.
Damn, so like dad may not have taught you, but you learned a lot from him.
Oh, yeah. I learned a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. The part where I was like, I'd rather not have a dad than to have a dad in like, I forgot my exact words.
You still feel that way sometimes?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, but I do know I think I long for a father figure, and I realize I just don't have that. But it's okay because I find that in myself. I find that in God. Like I realize I've longed for a mother figure and a father figure like all my life, and I still do, and I think that that's okay for me. But I'm just accepting that like I don't have that. It's just the cards I was dealt, and that's okay. I mean, because we mother and we father ourselves. So happy Father's Day to me, and happy Mother's Day to me too.
Because you've had to unlearn all the things that your parents taught you and reparent yourself?
Yeah, but I'm just like,
felt.
why do I wait for a parent to love me? I love me.
Because also, why would a parent not love their child?
Yeah.
Honestly.
That's true.
Because, like, you're saying, like, I didn't know a lot as a child, but why did mom deal with all that? I feel like that is such a pure thought that if a child who doesn't know anything could see that this is wrong,
Yeah.
that is huge.
Girl, I was telling our sis yesterday about how, like, how come we were able to empathize so much for our mom, but, like, she can't with us? That's crazy to me. But I guess trauma would do that to you if you were, like, not healing yourself or not being aware of yourself either, and, like, you continue hurting people. Yeah. Thanks for listening. I want to hear yours.
Girl,
Enough with this
course.
sad stuff. This
Oh,
one's
no.
sad.
This is a good leeway into mine, actually.
Is it? I'm
I-
excited to see what you chose.
From the archives, y'all. This was my high school
my gosh.
journal. Just for context, I would write about my very first boyfriend in this journal. I would do Bible study in this journal. There was nothing I wouldn't do in this journal.
I'm excited. And I know you don't be liking to go through your old stuff
This
either.
is my first time going through this.
I had seen a picture.
You saw a picture?
Your drawing.
Ew, I know, right? That was my boyfriend. I thought he was
okay.
so hot.
That's okay. You were so young.
All right, Monday, February 6th, 2012.
Oh my gosh.
At 7:59 a.m. Can't believe I was up that early. I'm gonna paraphrase some parts. So yesterday after church and ministry, we had to go over to my cousin's house for the Super Bowl. It was the New England Patriots versus the New York Giants. Giants won, of course. Girl, I don't know nothing about football. I don't know why the hell I wrote that. But before we went to actually watch it, my mom, my older brother, and I had a talk about me, which probably meant they were just yelling at me. They were talking about how I was so horrible. I'm so mad. First, she went through all my stuff, invading my privacy and spreading rumors about me upon her little gossip friends at church. Then she's just going to say a bunch of bogusness to have our brother side with her. I remember that. She went through my stuff and she started like using things against me. And mind you,
What stuff? Your journals?
my items, like just my
In your room?
stuff in my room. Like she was just mad. She would find reasons
Yeah.
to go through my stuff, find something to be mad about, and then she would do it all before y'all, this was 7:59 in the morning. This was the next day after the Super Bowl. I was still angry about it.
Yeah.
So I think about that.
Yeah.
I felt like mom would have people bully me. And not just me, our siblings. She would have people come over and humiliate us.
Yeah. And it's strange because it's like that brought her comfort. Like she purposely sought out people in order to help her discipline or parent y'all when really it was just abusive. It wasn't healthy. I'm sorry that happened. And that's humiliating for you too because
It is.
people at church who were around and then like our own brothers, it makes me sad for you because it's like she didn't consider how that would affect you. If she was a safe person for you, then y'all could have just had things one-on-one.
I would
and
just
not have to
gone
include
to
nobody
her.
else.
And she wouldn't have had to go she wouldn't have had to go through my stuff.
Exactly.
And I feel like this is also unfair for our brother. Why are you putting us in this weird position where he's just going to yell at me because you want him to?
How do you feel now with him having been put in that situation? Like, because he's yelled at us too. And sometimes even now, I'm like, I don't really know how to go about having a relationship with him because it was such a weird dynamic because mom allowed him so badly to like control us. And specifically you too. I remember that.
I feel like I was a very special case. I feel like she did that to me.
Yeah, she thought you were so bad.
She thought I was such like...
in high school.
I remember, okay, this might be a little TMI, but when I was younger, I was like 14, she called me a prostitute. Like, constantly. I was a freaking virgin.
Yeah.
Like, it was just...
And even if you weren't, it's like, why would you say
why
that
are
to
you
your
saying that to
daughter?
me? And I feel like she picked on me all the time. And I guess I don't know how I feel about our brother at this moment. I feel like he and I have had certain conversations that not specifically regarding this, but I feel like we have made amends in some way.
Oh, that's good.
Also with age. I've also understood how our mom can be and how she put him in this position.
Yeah.
So there is that thought, but at the same time, it's just like, I don't remember this day exactly, but I can recall it being a Sunday. She's pissed at me the whole day.
Yeah.
Like, she's yelling at me. She's threatening me. Like,
Jeez.
I'm gonna call the pastor. I'm gonna call so-and-so. You're not gonna be able to go here. I already don't even ask for anything.
I
know. And so then, like, I would be like, you're one to talk. Like, I don't know. I would just say comments back because I always just felt like I was picked on, which was very unfair, but yeah.
And it's okay if you don't want this included, but I wanted to ask because I know that, like, you recently had addressed something like that too, Mom. Like, you did this in the past and this is how I feel. What feelings does that, like, what are your thoughts on that with how she reacted?
I feel like that's a good question. Thank you for that. I feel like as I read this, I do see some growth in her. I see some growth in her, but I see tremendous growth in me.
Okay.
I feel like
tremendous growth.
I feel like it's up to me. It is up to me on what I do. And I feel like when I had addressed certain things to her, she wasn't totally receptive. And I feel like her growth only allowed her to understand a certain amount. And my growth has allowed me to understand several different angles.
Ooh,
and that's where I just am with it. Don't really expect much. Is it sad? Yeah. But do I expect anything? No. No, I can't. You know what I mean? She doesn't look at my stuff anymore because I don't live with her. But it's like that same type of thing. It's like, I don't know. It's sad that I'm like, I don't know how I feel or if she's completely changed. But I hope one day her growth little by little continues to add up to something that does something.
Oh.
Yeah.
High school when?
I love her.
I remember her. It's like, that's you, but like, it's like different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I remember specifically high school when she would snap on anybody and everybody. You still would, but differently now.
It was very different. I can't believe I used to snap on people.
I like high school when. And I like you right now too. But it's like so cool. It's like, whoa. It's like I was there all along. I get to see you in all these different versions of yourself.
Same with you. Wait, who was I snapping on back then?
Everybody at church who was being a bitch. That's too tight.
Why
are you showing too much?
I'm like,
that's immodest.
Girl.
No, that's mocking. Okay. Yeah.
Let's do your next one because they be watching us like, what can we find?
You know what? This one's really religious. I'll read this one next.
Read that one.
All right. April 5th. Damn, all these 5th. Okay. All these 5th because that was July 5th. This one's April 5th. April 5th, 2021. On the days following my dad's funeral, our house was filled with emptiness. There was no one to cry to nor cry with. There was no one to laugh with or talk to. My days on earth have changed ever since. Life was never the same. Now as an adult, I'm learning to cope with the reality of my life. A life with no father figure who led a beautiful example of love and loyalty. As I learn more about myself and the brokenness within it, I come to see more of the remaining hurt and results of my Mom and Dad's actions growing up.
Dang.
It was difficult to understand why 8-year-old me would try to commit suicide, and as an adult, I understand it. I hope the consequences of my parents' actions only teaches me to love harder and be kind and patient, especially to my future children. Oof. There are still so many issues I must heal from. I need not to be so hard on myself, and I'm trying to remember that the pain inflicted on me is not my fault, but I am responsible for the healing, my healing. All things I do as an adult is to advocate for my younger self. Although there is so much painful and sorrowful memories, I hope to allow God to work in my life and shape me and my character to be who He wants me to be. For my family, friends, future husband, children, clients, strangers, co-workers, etc. Although the world may be so cruel, I must remember to be a beautiful light that is gentle, yet bold, truthful, and powerful. For so long, I have searched for the love of a man, a father, or a husband, yet I have found none. No one can satisfy besides Jesus. No thing, success, or person can ever satisfy besides Him. I must take time to reflect and heal. Have I ever truly given myself time to love myself, explore and enjoy life, and fall in love with God in my solitude? I must be content first in God and as a single, whole individual before I seek a relationship and marriage with someone else. I've cried almost all the days of my life. It has been a sad life indeed, but also a life filled with joy in small, simple things. Don't ever forget where you came from, where you come from, who you belong to, Jesus. One day there will be no more tears, weeping, or mourning, and this is the hope I cling onto.
You're
I'm
good.
so good.
No,
Okay.
cry.
Okay.
This is
I
all
know.
about that. You can cry.
I know. This world full of loneliness, brokenness, and pain will all pass one day. My Jesus makes all things new. Yeah, I don't know. I just chose that one because I'm like, it's a good reminder because even now I still desire those things. Like, I still desire a life partner. I still desire children. But also, like, I'm also learning to love who I am as an individual. Like, these are real feelings that I still feel sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I remember the exact moment I said that, like, one day there will be no more, like, no more tears. Because I think, like, the first 24 years of my life, that's all I knew. And so I remember that moment that I wrote that. It was, like, that actually gave me hope that, like, you know, maybe one day in heaven, there will be no more. And I think the moment I realized, like, I don't have to wait for heaven to not have to cry all the time anymore, that gave me freedom.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. But I don't want to spend too much time on that. But that was, like, this was hopeful for me. And that's why I wanted to read it with you all. It's just the reality of things. It's lonely sometimes. But, like, because I felt so much sadness and loneliness, I also feel much joy. So.
That's beautiful. Like,
Yeah.
deep roots, tall tree.
Yeah.
I love that. And I know I'm very sad that, like, because you mentioned that, like, your entire life you've cried pretty much every day. And that has, I know that as weird as it sounds, it has encouraged me a lot to express more of myself through tears.
Healthy.
It is healthy, but I didn't know I could. Because, like, you've always been very open with your sadness, with your emotions. Like, you, if you were sad, you cried.
Yeah.
I always envied that because there was a part of me that was like, I wish I could do that, but I can't.
I'm sad you couldn't, and I'm glad that you're working on it now. Like,
am.
you cry now when you
I
feel
put
like
it on
you
my
want to.
agenda. It'd be like, cry.
Aw.
It really is because you're so comfortable with crying. So I'm sad that, like, your tears is because you've been through so much hurt. But if it means anything, it has encouraged me a lot to navigate my sadness.
That does mean a lot, and I love seeing you grow in that too.
In my sadness, yeah.
No, like just being and feeling what you feel.
Yeah.
It's powerful. It's like
It is.
expressing yourself. You're not holding it in no more.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have to, even though, you know, sometimes I'm like, I want to just soak it back in because it's weird. Sometimes it's weird to be vulnerable. I'm still working on that. It's so weird. But this is exactly what we're doing by sharing our journal entries. It's very vulnerable. It's like probably one of the most vulnerable things we could do.
Yeah. Like, I'm opening up my heart and my brain for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think crying is so good. I think people watching, it's okay to cry. It's wonderful to cry, actually. As a former non-crier, I realized that I would have panic attacks and then it would force me to cry. And it's like, is my body going into this, like, state of where it's like, you haven't expressed yourself, you're going to. You know what I mean? And so I love that, like, you encourage people to feel, and when someone is sad around you, I can tell they feel comfortable to lean in to you because you've been there. You
Yeah.
understand sadness. Not their sadness, but you understand yours.
Yeah.
So you can be a place of comfort for them, which is good.
And of course, that's a trauma response because every time I would like cry or whatever, it's just like, oh, so it's just being emotional. She's just sensitive. But I'm like, you know, I'm really embracing, like, this is my gift.
Yes.
I get to feel with you. I get to empathize with you. That's not something that you can easily get. I feel like some people, yeah, you can say and do whatever you want, but it's how you make them feel. It's your presence. It's who you are.
If you've been around her, you know. You already know.
Yeah.
She's
and
very sweet.
you make it a safe place for me, and that's why I feel like I could also cry around you because I don't just be crying around anybody.
I do understand.
Although
that.
sometimes, you know, when you accidentally do, it's like, oh, they didn't deserve my vulnerability. They didn't deserve for me to cry to
Girl,
you.
I be feeling,
you know?
I be feeling like, oh my gosh, I showed myself too much.
Yes. Yeah, and you feel like, I need
Some
to cover.
more.
I know.
I
need
gotta
to
put
cover
big
up.
leaves on.
Yeah.
Y'all ready for the next one?
We're ready.
Very short one. That's what she said.
How short?
Short as hell.
Short as hell.
It is pretty short. I was going through
Short.
my...
As short as the little BB guy.
Oh my gosh.
No? Okay. I'm scared.
I was going through like a little moment of my life where I was like, ooh, maybe poetry. Maybe,
Okay, share
maybe.
some of that poetry.
Maybe.
Spoken word. Okay.
I do more of that now than I did back then. But
Okay.
this is from August 2nd, 2012. No title or nothing. I just go straight into it. She was a young lady looking for love in all the wrong places. Messed up, turned around, fell back, and retraced it. You see, she never learned from her mistakes. That's it.
Oh,
That's all I wrote. I'm glad to say I have.
You learned from your mistakes.
I learned from my mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very glad to say that, like, man, it's been, what year did I write that?
2012.
2012. That's 13 years ago. I was 17. I've learned from my mistakes. So I can go back and tell 17-year-old me, girl, thank you for that. We learned from our mistakes.
Oh my gosh. Little did she know everything she was going to go through from that point on.
Yeah.
And look at you now. Like, I'm so proud of you. Like, wow, that was... And the thing is, a lot of us struggle with that at times. You know, we've all been there. Yeah. If we haven't yet, then, you know, like, it's not easy to just leave a toxic relationship.
Yeah. It's tough. Like even, like, the words that I chose is, like, okay, I messed up. I turned around. I fell right back into it, and I retraced it. I did the exact same thing over and over. Like, falling into this toxic pattern is so hard to get out of.
And that's so honest, though. It's not fake, because I feel like oftentimes it's like you can be ashamed and then you could hide it and try to fake it, but you were just like, yeah, this is what it is.
Yeah, like, I just keep doing this.
Yeah.
And I love that, like, in my journals, I don't lie. Who am I lying to? I'm only fooling myself. No one else is reading my journal.
Yeah.
And it's like, so I look
Unless
back.
his mom.
Touche. She really did. Let me go back and read the first journal. I'm just kidding.
Are you serious?
No.
You think she read that, right? She read your journals, right?
She probably did. I think what had happened was she found a picture of me and my first boyfriend. Oh. We were at homecoming. That's what she found. She didn't like that.
Yeah, did you use to stick in the back of your closet? She would go in there.
Yeah.
I remember she would question me like, "When mo itu londo ke duo?" She always like.
He wasn't black.
He looked black though.
But yeah,
I forget he wasn't black. But yeah.
So yeah, fell out of that cycle, fell right into a different one.
Oh.
So I just kind of spiraled out of that, and here we are though. Many years later.
Now, hey.
Many years later, I would have never thought.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like high school you would be so like, she would look up to you a lot. Like she would want to be just like you. So.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And I feel the same about you, little you.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like we turned out cooler than we could have ever imagined.
Yeah. I agree. And we're continuing to be cool too, like even cooler. Like we're still evolving, and I'm so excited because one day, even the journals we're writing now, we're gonna be reading them years from now and be like, wow, I remember that.
Yes.
And it's cool because we have these videos to look back on and be like, oh my gosh, we would read it together, our old diaries.
Yeah. It is very interesting. I remember like playing house and thinking about what we would become, and the things that we always said while we were playing house is what we became.
Not yet for me. You know, I used to want to be a teacher and have twins. I'm not that yet, but it's kind of similar. And then she would be smoking.
I'll be smoking, and I had tattoos, and I had a boyfriend, and we'd go shopping.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's like very much you.
But
yeah, we would do that. We would play house with our little cousin. It was fun.
I remember like Tomorrow, you would like wrap
baby Tomorrow.
You would wrap Tomorrow up in a blanket, and like while we would go out and party, you'd be like, I have to stay home and watch my baby.
Yes. I've always wanted to be a mother.
And you're gonna be a great mother.
We will.
Yeah, we will.
I'm excited.
Okay, side note, I used to be pregnant.
You did?
Like in the at house, playing house and smoking. I wouldn't do that if I was, but when
you
we
were
were playing
cousin.
House. Yeah, she and I would both do that.
How I was the good girl somehow. I don't know how. But how come I didn't smoke with y'all or drink with y'all?
You still don't. Well, you don't smoke.
Yeah.
Okay,
only when I'm feeling it. Because it makes me more hungry.
It do be funny.
And if I'm feeling like eating, like when we was in Jamaica and we wanted to make sure we took advantage of what we was paying for. Yeah, remember we ate everything after smoking. That was nice. Remember when we did that?
Oh my gosh, and we had so much sugar cane.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
We ate so much sugar cane.
We had a whole plate of the sugar cane.
Many plates, actually.
Yeah. All right, this one's from December 28th, 2023, 9:04 p.m. Okay. So this one's more recent.
December 28th?
Yeah, that's like right before New Year's.
Were we hanging out? When you journaled? Oh,
I think so.
I feel like we were hanging out when you did that. We were always hanging out during that time.
I think so. I think we were. We were chilling here at home. Okay. New Year's, we usually stay in, I feel. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
She told me he wanted to abort me. Strangely, I feel validated. The inner child in me was always right. Little did she know she didn't want me either, though she said she did. I'd rather not been put on this earth than to be here and be unloved. I couldn't be a child when I was a child, so now as an adult, I live my childhood dreams, or I at least try to. I finally get to make mistakes, buy the snacks I want, go out, be with friends, explore my passions and hobbies, sleep in, and do what I find to be enjoyable, without the fear that I'll get yelled at or beat. This stuff is funny, but it's funny, you know?
That's so sad.
But as an adult, I'm healing from the I'm healing from the words my inner child had to listen to. I was told that I was stupid, fat, ugly, worthless, unlovable, undeserving of good things. I was even told these things and treated as such as an adult. It fucking sucks, but I won't let this stop me from being better and becoming the person I desire to be. If I'm dumb, I'll read more. I'll educate myself more. If I'm ugly, I'll process from the inside out and acknowledge my beauty and remind myself that I am beautiful and I am enough. If I am feeling unvalued and undeserving of love and good things, I will love myself and give me good things. I will remind myself that I am worthy, precious, and valuable. I am the daughter of the Most High King.
Period.
Their words may hurt me, but it won't stop me. I will keep on being great to myself. I am deserving of good things. I am deserving of love. It is okay that things are not okay right now. I will be okay one day. It may not all make sense now, but it will all make sense one day. Rejection is redirection. Take time that you need to rest and find renewal. Not everybody loves the same way as you do. Ask yourself what you need. Check in with yourself. Be graceful with yourself and others. Remember to stay empathetic and kind. Do not hurt people for your benefit. Being loving and kind toward yourself and setting boundaries is loving and kind to others. So I chose that just because I'm like, wow, I got to see myself literally alchemizing in that journal. Where it's like, I was hurt by these words, but I'm turning that into something that empowers me and heals me. And so I hope that that's something that we can do more. And if you didn't learn or weren't taught how to do that, because we weren't really taught either, I'm still teaching myself how to do that. Like, almost every day I remember words that people have said to me on accident, even though I don't want to. And I'm like, all right, what am I going to do with it? How am I going to transform it into a way that like empowers me and makes me better and not allow that to fester any bitterness and hurt, but like for me to feel what I feel and move forward and to make something beautiful out of it. So that's where I'm at with that.
Thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
Some words that stuck out to me where you were describing, well, first of all, you started off with she didn't want me.
Yeah.
Or he didn't want me?
Yeah. That she told me that he wanted to abort me, but mom didn't want me either. She thought she did though.
That was very sad because I was there when you learned that, and that was a very sad moment. But I felt the part where you felt validated because I know you've been feeling that for a long time, and I remember you said I fucking knew it, and I'm really sorry that that's how you felt. But I also love that you leaned into I knew it, like you knew it.
Yeah.
And I love that you processed it live. I could tell as you were journaling, you were having new thoughts, new ideas. And it made me sad that there were certain words that stuck out to you, like fat, ugly, stupid. But I also love that you were like, if I'm that, then I'll do this.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't stuck at what people say about you.
Literally, and I struggled with that for like the longest. And I think actually around that time, you had introduced me to the book, The 4 Agreements. And yeah, especially that time. I remember I didn't want to go to Christmas with our family because the words of one of my brothers really, like, it kept on bothering me. But I went anyway because I wanted to be with family. But it's just like, am I going to stop there at what they said? How am I going to listen to every single thing someone said? And, like, whether if it's true or not, am I just going to stop there? And then I think in that moment I realized, like, I don't need to stop at that. Even if I believe it or don't believe it, I'm going to do what is in my control, which is to educate myself more if I am this.
Yeah. No, that was very powerful. Little so would be very proud, Bodhi. Like,
thank you.
You've done a lot. You've done a lot of work. I've seen it.
Thank the Lord.
Thank the Lord for real, because that's hard. I don't think I've ever... There's some moments with mom and dad where I didn't feel loved, but I never felt like I wasn't wanted, and wanted in the way that, you know, we're talking about, right? And you even addressed about when you tried to commit, you know, where you tried to harm yourself and all these things. But I love that at the end of it, you ended so powerfully. But you also didn't condone what happened. I love that you addressed both things. I feel like sometimes with healing, people think, I have to let this go. I can't be hurt about this. What was said hurt.
And it's like, that's my reality. Like, you know, even like every day I have to continue telling myself, like, I deserve good things. I'm going to have grace with myself. I'm going to be kind to myself. And that's why I wrote that at the end after like my journal. Because I'm like, I need to remind myself these things. It's not just a one time and done thing. It's like, nope. It's something I need to keep on doing because we're humans. We forget. And then I'm like, if I go a while without like giving myself these words of affirmations, I'm going to end up being sad again over that and needing like encouragement again for myself.
Yeah. And like even in the 4 agreements, it talks about like letting go of that old belief and creating a new belief in that place.
Oh yeah.
And that's what you're doing. I can see it in there. Yeah. Also, I like that you're writing because I know sometimes you digitally journal too.
Yeah, it switches up.
Okay.
2023.
I think that's fine. Yeah.
We wrote a lot in Europe.
We did.
We journaled a lot.
We did.
Yeah, it's also because I didn't want to bring my iPad there or my MacBook.
No, that makes sense. I didn't even want to bring my journal there, so, you know.
Right? We had to be really...
We're very limited.
With the weight.
Yeah. And then they didn't even really check. Anyway.
I know, right?
Besides the point.
In the space. Yeah. Okay, let's listen to your last one.
My last one is July 24th, 2024.
Ooh, recent.
Oh, yeah, last summer. I've introduced this journal in our last video. We'll do it again. This is my big one. Oh, the last one was short. This one's big.
How big?
Big as hell.
Our brothers watch.
They watch this?
Yes.
Okay, if y'all watching this, is y'all learning anything about your sisters? Like,
that's true.
Like, what are you guys learning?
Well, I know one of them that watches this. I think he learns from it.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. Anyway, the title of this one is called Time.
Okay.
Just time. We spend so much of it out of touch from it as it happens right now. We are too busy trying to hold yesterday or trying to reach tomorrow, not even realizing that we waited our entire life for this moment. What a disappointment. There is so much that today holds. I admire the cohesive collaboration of time and how it reveals so much to me. What a patient teacher. Time teaches us to wait. Why do we rush? That is control. It is foolish. Time does not wait for me, nor does it rush me. Time just is. Time just flows. Time does not bend to me. It just is what it is. It is constant. It is faithful. It may not always be easy, but I can trust in the timing of the universe, that it knows better than my own time. Time teaches us to let go. It teaches us to trust that today leads to tomorrow. And we know that because yesterday led us to today. Time is a gift for those who planted the seeds. Time is an opportunity for those who wait and see the goodness of God. There is no guarantee of when the time will conclude, but I can guarantee that today will be well spent, well spoken, and well appreciated. Thank you today. What a gift. Thank you yesterday, and thank you tomorrow. Thank you, God, the author of time.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Thank you, boo.
That could be a whole book and just wow. Oops, I forgot to hold them. That was beautiful. That could be a whole book. Just kidding. No, I'm serious. That was so beautiful. I was just soaking all in, and I love that you said that it's a patient teacher, and it doesn't rush.
Teacher. Yeah,
it doesn't rush us. It just is. I love that.
It just is. It is. Oh my gosh, it is so beautiful. This year, time has really been a thing for me. There's something about turning 30 where like your biological clock, you feel like there's a biological clock. Everyone talks about that. I never understood it until this year.
Really?
Something happens within you.
Yeah.
But I'm learning to not trust on my own thoughts. I don't know the time. I don't know the day. I don't know anything, but I know that I have right now. That's the only thing I know.
That's true.
Yesterday changes all the time. I could think about yesterday constantly and new things come up. I think about tomorrow, new things come up. But right now is the only thing that is like right here. Dr. Joe Dispenza calls it the, oh my gosh, the perfect present moment, the eternal right now.
That's so philosophical. That's very deep. And I know that there's so much more because you and I talk about time outside of this as well. There's just so much to it.
Yeah. there's this thought that I have about like time. The construct of time as we know it is not real, you guys. Like, we're getting sun rays from so long ago, okay? Like, that the concept of time is not real, but our perspective of it is. And as I get older, I don't want to rush. I'm not rushing anymore. I love the luxury of slowing down. I feel like we never really had that as a kid. And a lot of times I talk to adults and they're like, I'm behind in life. I'm behind. And I'm like, what is ahead of you? Like,
who told us that we behind? What if we just are?
Who told you? Yeah. Just be, right?
I think we're too often trying to like feel like we need to catch up to someone else's just because they're on a specific, like whatever in their journey. But it's like we each have our own.
We do.
And it's okay. I feel like if anything, when you like feel like you need to rush, you actually stall what's good, what's waiting for you. Like, what if you actually just go exactly how you're supposed to go? Go at your pace. Because if you run super fast, you're going to break an ankle, and then guess what? You're going to have to heal for like 6 weeks to 6 months.
The setbacks, right? Like,
I like that. No rushing. Because our family definitely,
we do everything
we were really traumatized. We had to rush everything. Even now, I notice all of us, we rush in eating, we rush in leaving the house, we rush in putting on our shoes, we rush every single thing.
Like you, even if I'm not in a rush, I'm just telling you, like, yeah, are we good? I'm like, girl, I don't care.
Like, even today, getting ready for filming, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to do this, and I have to do this.
She was like, you're ready already? I was like, girl, we're just chilling.
We're not doing anything after this. We just chilling. But I always feel like I need to rush, and that's something I'm still healing, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I know, not I think. I need to heal on that. Even like when I'm at the office working, I like everyone knows it's me. Even in my house with my roomies, they all know it's me because how I walk. I'm like, I don't know why I'm just always so fast. And it's like, I need to calm down. It's like I got something on my ass. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, what's up her ass? I don't know. I just have to do things fast.
Yeah.
Yes, I have issues.
No, sometimes I'd be like, move. I can do it faster. I can do it better. I can do it faster and better.
But you know, I procrastinate because I'm fast. You know, it's like, I'd rather chill.
Girl.
And then procrastinate. And, you know.
Because you know how the time works.
Yes. This is how it is. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. That was so beautiful, okay?
Thank you, boo.
Go back and rewind and listen to that again. I'm going to have to do that.
Well, just because, like, time is so beautiful to me because people always think, well, when I have a home, I'll be grateful. When I have this, I'll be happy. And it's like, if you're, whatever you are right now is what you will be then. If you're not grateful for what you have right now in front of you, you will miss that thing that you're waiting for. So it's like, don't wait. You don't have to wait for anything. Everything you need is right here, right now. Yeah.
Wow. That's so true. I often think of forgiveness, and like I shared with you, like I feel like oftentimes it's only when we're like, when they die, I'll forgive them. But it's like, why do we have to wait for them to die for you to forgive them?
Who, girl?
That's deep. It's hard. I even still think of that at times. I'm like, what is it? What is it?
That reminds me of what Dad said about how he said this in home, but he said he will never forgive this person until their body sinks into the ground. Remember that? Like, wow.
You've shared that with me before.
Yeah, so sometimes we say things and I'm like, ooh, that reminds me of something that Mom or Dad has said. Like, where we try so hard not to be like these qualities that we don't like, but even when you were like, forgiveness, like, how long can I be? It's like, ooh, girl, Dad had a problem with forgiveness. Not that you do, but yeah. Good. Honestly, I feel very exposed, not in a terrible way. It's just like, I also we wear our hearts on our sleeves, and so it's like when we're writing, I'm not writing with the intention that someone else will read it, but we are reading it with the intention that someone else could get something from it.
Yes, and that's why we're sharing it. It's not for like self-pity. It's not for like because we're angry at these people. It's just this is how we felt in that moment. If it could uplift any of you or make any of you feel less lonely, then great. That's what we hope and wish for. Even if it's not beneficial for any of you, it's like we go back and watch our videos. And if that could even like bring some kind of comfort for us to go back even like years from now to watch us read our old journals, that's beautiful. So
I agree. And I want to add to that, it's like, I know journaling might not be for everyone, but I feel like if everyone tries it, it is for everyone. You know what I mean? It's like saying, I'm not a fan of breathing. Like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? But like, I was talking to one of our brothers, our brother-in-law, and he knows who he is. He watches our channel. And he was just like, I just don't like writing because I hate my handwriting. And I had told him, write in all caps then.
Yes.
Right now, find a reason. Stop finding an excuse. And this not for you, broski, but it's just like for people. It's like find the reason to do something good.
That's so true. It's like, if you don't like reading, okay, read what interests you. What do you love? Read that.
Yep. Make it fun, y'all.
Yeah.
This is fun.
Do it the way that you want. You get to choose. No one's telling you no specific way to do it. Who said you gotta write it down on a piece of paper? Who said you gotta journal that way? It could be however you want to do it. So thank you all for being here and listening to our very heartfelt journal entries. We'll see you all next time.
See you guys.